Well, this is Throwleigh, a small village, small parish on the edge of Dartmoor in the county of Devon in the UK. And we're going to explore the graveyard and the church if it's open. It's my first visit here, so we'll get first impressions. Just as we enter the church grounds, we have this war memorial. The inscription on the base is for those that fell in the Great War, especially Hugh Fanshawe Glanville and James Alfred Mortimer. One here to Mary Dunning Wills, who died in 1918, and on the top we have a crown carved into the stone. Nearby is one to Albert Edwin Ellis, and the carefully engraved at the top of the stone is the open book with flowers, really nicely done. He died in 1917. Over the back there you can see some more recent stones. And up the slope here, the older ones. We have several stones here to the Dicker family. This is William Dicker, who died in 1909. There's another William Dicker here. Can't quite make out the date on that. And there's a very old doorway here of its type, possibly the earliest in Devon. There's a couple of table tombs here in the graveyard, although I'm afraid the inscriptions are too difficult to read. One here on the ground, the family name is Banbury, and the date is 1858. A very elaborately carved one here. This is to William Dicker. And you look at the work on the top of this stone. Further back in the graveyard there's a plot marked out here with curbstones and beautiful moss covering the actual memorial. Not possible to see the name on this one, although no doubt it could be recovered if you removed the moss. The elaborate one is toppling forward, but the name on it is James Lee from 1906. A little different in design from most of the other stones. A distinctive one here up in the top corner, which has the form of Christ on the cross at the top of the monument. And when we look down to the bottom we get the inscription. This is George Lincoln Garbier Lowe, a priest, 1855-1935. This one is commemorating somebody who gave their life in the First World War. The inscription at the base of the memorial reads, "For the only son, Spencer L. Slee March Phillips, 2nd Lieutenant, Battalion of the Tank Corps, killed in action at Cumbrae, 1917, aged 23. Just a simple cross in the ground here with the initials PG and JG. Nearby is an even simpler wooden cross with PP. This one here with the wooden cross also has an inscription on the stone, not in the ground: Martin Stevens Hodge, artist and Dartmoor guide, and he only died in 2019. It's not really possible to make out the inscription on this, but I'm showing it because of the way the lichen has taken over this stone, leaving a rather picturesque result. And this one nearby has been completely covered with this lichen. It's interesting how some of the stones seem to attract this growth, and others, like the ones behind, are quite clear. This one close by has been taken over by moss. Close to the church is this older stone to Anne Clark and Richard Clark, and this one, sometime during its long life, has broken, and you can see it's got metal brackets put in at the side to rejoin the stone, but that repair itself is many decades, possibly centuries old. Nice thatched cottage at the end of the church here. This memorial is in a sort of marble-like stone, a very smooth surface, very easy to read still. William Jordan, 1927, aged 80, and Mary, his wife, 1932, aged 82 years. And buried here into the beech hedge is a memorial that you could very easily miss. A wooden cross, and on the bottom a little metal plate, and the surname is Tabor, T-A-B-O-R. On the side of the church are two plaques. The lower one is quite impossible to read because of the lichen, although I'm sure the inscription will be quite clear underneath that. Above it we have one here. This is to James Martin, and it's dated 1765. Above the door is a sundial, and the date on that is 1663. Well, I did manage to go inside the church while the bell ringers were there, but it was quite crowded and there was not a lot to see in there. It's quite a plain interior in this church. Well, that's it. It's just a parish church, nothing exceptional to report. Very pleasant, worth a visit if you're in the area. We're right on the edge of Dartmoor, and till the next time.